Okay. Um, this these next two videos that I'm about to do right now are my picks for my favorite 25, um, give or take, superhero titles of all time from my personal collection, and my 25 least favorite ones of all time as well. And I feel like there's more of an even mix between Marvel and DC with the least than there is the best. But there are a couple of honorable mentions in the best category that um, trying to stick to 25 didn't allow me to incorporate, but they will be honorable mentions at the end of it. We're going to start with what I think are the 25 worst ones out there. Um, so let's dive into this. I need to figure out where my last position is. Did I not bring? Oh, I did. Okay. So, in last place, saving the Flash movie from last is Disaster Movie, because every time I show this movie, I say Disaster Movie. Yes, it is. And not only is it a movie about a bunch of disasters and whatnot with some superhero elements, like you can see on the case here, it has Hancock, it has Iron Man, sort of, Hulk, um, Hellboy. On the back, there's a type of Batman type thing there. But so it does have superhero characters in it, but it is such a disaster movie. Like, it even has um, an actor that I really enjoy in it, um, but his inclusion doesn't help the movie at all. And that is Mark Lanter. If that name doesn't sound familiar to you, he was the voice of Clone Wars Anakin. So I like him from that, and he's been in a time travel series since then, or thrown it in there as well. But I always say how bad this movie is, and if you haven't seen it, you're really not missing anything, because it's the title says it all. So that's 25th place. In 24th place is going to be the theatrical cut for Justice League. You kind of get the idea of what they were trying for in this, but there is a much better version that's going to be in my top 25. So, just a disappointing version of what could have been Avengers 2012 level good, and was not. In 23rd place is The Flash. That being said, I liked Supergirl in this movie. I liked Michael Keaton's Batman returning. Those are really good. I just strongly believe that they should have gone with Grant Gustin instead of Ezra Miller for the DC Extended Universe. because he's just a terrible, terrible person, terrible fit for the character. And in this one, his stunt double ended up being in the majority of the film because there's 2 flashes for the majority of it. And I mean, the custom bat suit where it's customized to look like the Flash, that was kind of cool. But again, Ezra Miller is such a terrible person that it's just like, mm, mm-mm. And let's see, that's 25, 4, 3. In 22nd, we're gonna put Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck has shown up in the MCU time and time again, with I think all 3 Guardians of the Galaxy solo movies, not counting the holiday special, including him, although I think he's in that as well. And then he showed up in What If here and there. And it's like George Lucas's follow-up to Star Wars in Indiana Jones is bizarre. Bizarre. Yeah. So 22nd place right there. In 21st place, I'm only going to be counting the first of these 2, and that is Captain America. I believe these came out in the 70s, like 78, that time frame, 79, something like that. And a considerable problem with it, the shield's plastic. It's not vibranium. Another major problem, it's not set in World War II like you'd expect a Captain America movie to be. And he doesn't even get that iconic suit right there until the end of the first one. It is still Steve Rogers, although in this he's a Marine and not an Army man. I haven't seen all of the second one, so I can't give my thoughts on that particular one. But the first one just doesn't feel like Captain America. I think there's Captain America movies with my best of the bunch. Or well, at least one. But let's see, that was 5, 4, 23, 22, 21. So in 20th place, rounding out the bottom 20, is going to be X-Men 1.5. Now, what holds this back is the simple fact that it is not an extended cut like I thought it was. X-Men 1 is fine as is. This just has a bunch of like special features and whatnot. It's not an extended cut. And so making it seem or sound as though it's an extended cut like Spider-Man 2.1 was kind of cheapens the effect of the movie. So X-Men 1.5 not being an extended cut is why it's in the worst of the bunch for me in 20th place. In 19th place is actually going to be a threefer, and that is the Darkman trilogy, of which the best one is the original with Liam Neeson. They recast him in 2 and 3, and it didn't work as well as the original did. But 19th place. It's not bottom 20, but it's also not top 10. It's the middle 10. In 18th place, we're going to put Justice League Gods and Monsters. It's one of the few Justice League animated movies that does not have Bruce Wayne as Batman. It's somebody else, and he's a vampire, which, given the setting of the movie, makes sense because it's an alternate dimension where the Justice League are villains, which that aspect works just fine. It's just the story itself didn't progress the way that would make sense to do it. So that's 18th place. In 17th is going to be Valentine, the Dark Avenger. From the case, you'd think it would be a pretty awesome superhero movie. And it has some awesome moments, but it's not as superhero-y as it should be. So, 16th place is going to be 2003 Hulk. And I recently learned something about this movie that put it higher in this worst of ranking. And that is that the Edward Norton Hulk movie from 5 years later is kind of, sort of, a sequel to this one. With this one, you end up, or at the end of the movie, you have Bruce Banner in Brazil, where he is in the beginning of the Incredible Hulk movie. So, it's a little frustrating having this in the worst of the bunch, because I really liked the Incredible Hulk. And it's kind of a sequel to this one with a new cast. But yeah. And then we have in 15th place, Ghost Rider. This is the extended cut, but either cut fits in this position. Just kind of leaving me wanting more from it. In 14th place, we have Madam Web. I like the direction they were trying to go with this. I think they should have spent a lot more time with the trio of teenage girls as superheroes instead of just teasing that they would become superheroes. Same with Dakota Johnson's Madam Web as well. I am fairly sure that I've heard Dakota Johnson be very outright disappointed with the movie that was actually released, given the pitch that she had, because she signed on for some incredible type superhero movie that was supposed to be really good, and then they butchered it and turned it into what we have here. She has sworn that she will release what she was pitched, even if she has to use her own money to develop it and all that. And more power to you, Dakota. Definitely do that, because the pitch that you got sounded a lot more intriguing and awesome than what we have. So, Dakota Johnson, put out your version of this movie, call it the star cut or something, or the lead actress cut, or whatever you want to call it, but or the definitive edition or something. Let's see, that's 14th place. In 13th, we have the theatrical cut for Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds. The suit looks cool, fully CGI. Some of the visual effects aren't that good. Kind of taking on a fear cloud like that a bit weird. They call it Parallax, I guess. Says Blake Lively is in here. I haven't seen it recently enough um, to know for sure if she's also in it. Although if she is, I imagine she's probably Hal Jordan's girlfriend. So yeah, I haven't seen the extended cut. I do have it, but I haven't seen the extended cut. I kept this case because it's cool to have a green case. It's not that common. The Blu-ray Incredible Hulk case is the same thing. I kept that case even though I do have the black 4K case. But yeah. In 12th place is going to be a twofer here, and that is on a theatrical cut level, Daredevil and Elektra both in 13th place here. I think, let's see, 25, 4, 3, 2, 1, 20, 19, 14, 13, yeah, 12th place. 12th place is going to be both of these theatrical cuts. I have seen the director's cut for Daredevil, which elevates it up higher than the theatrical version, but as a theatrical version, it's just in 12th place. In 11th place, we're going to put, before we get too much higher in the list, in 11th, we're going to put Thor: Love and Thunder. Easily the worst of the Thor movies in my mind. There's another Thor movie that we'll get to in a second that I have elevated above this in the top 10 of the worst 25 movies in my opinion. But yeah, this one's 10th place, which is as high as I feel comfortable putting it, is going to be Fan4stick. 2015 seemed to have been the year where Marvel did not finish either a superhero team name or a catchphrase. Case in point, they never say the team name Fantastic Four in this. They do say Fantastic, and they point out that there are 4 people on this team, but they never actually say Fantastic Four. Disappointing. In 9th is going to be Quantumania. There were a couple of things that I enjoyed about this. I liked how it tried to be a bit larger scale and be more impactful than the first two. But if you're going to be trying to introduce the next big bad or properly introduce the next big bad of the MCU, don't have them be easily defeated by ants. Kang was easily defeated by a bunch of ants. And it's like, really? And he's the next big bad that you're going to be pursuing? Of course, now he isn't. Now it's Doctor Doom, but yeah. Wow. So I think that was 9th place. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 20, 19, 18, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Yeah. In 8th place, we're going to put Batman the movie with Adam West. It feels like a almost 2-hour episode of the show, which essentially is what it is. In 7th place, Thor: The Dark World. Much better than Love and Thunder, but still not exactly Ragnarok. Ragnarok's in my top 25 and not one of the honorable mentions. Then we have in 7th, Catwoman. It's not Selena Kyle. It's someone named Patience Phillips. So it's kind of like one of those Elseworld projects where it's, oh, you guys all know about Selena Kyle as Catwoman. But here's another one that took up the moniker of Catwoman. And it's only as good as 7th place in the list of the 25 of my 25 least favorite superhero movies. I did limit this list to Marvel or DC for the most part. Obviously, Disaster Movie and The Darkman and the Darkman trilogy are neither Marvel nor DC, but the majority of these titles have fallen into one of those two categories. So we have 5 titles left. So in our top 5, we kick off the top 5 with, well, I say top 5, but it's still, the worst. The 5 movies that I like most of the least. And that is Justice League: The New Frontier. And honestly, the only reason this is so low is because I was really tired when I started watching it and it put me to sleep. So if I rewatch it, I might like it considerably more if I'm fully awake for it. But as of now, not top material. Number 4, Teen Titans Go to the Movies. Supposedly there's a Teen Titans Go See Space Jam movie, or Go See Space Jam: A New Legacy or whatever. I've not seen that. I've been watching the Teen Titans Go series. I think I'm partway through season 2. But the original Teen Titans series worked a lot better. And this one is obviously a lot younger of a demographic in mind. And it feels that way. Third is going to be Iron Man 3. The Mandarin twist aside, it is a really good Iron Man movie. I wish that the version of the Mandarin they teased for the duration of the movie mostly until they revealed, like, oh, he's just an actor. I wish they had kept that as the actual Mandarin because he looked like the real Mandarin, but he obviously ended up not being the true Mandarin, and that's annoying. Our runner-up is going to be Morbius. Look at that lenticular. Wow. Great lenticular slipcover for the movie. Here's what the regular case looks like. But this one, honestly, this one leaves me wanting more. So it does its job in not overstaying its welcome and actually leaving me wanting more. So that's good. But my favorite of my least favorite superhero movies of all time, largely from Marvel and DC, is I thought this was the Batman. Anyway, Batman and Robin. It's my favorite of my least favorite superhero movies here. Because I liked the Mr. Freeze stuff they were doing. I liked Poison Ivy. They went too far with the costumes, having the nipples on the bat suits, even for Batwoman or for Batgirl. I think they especially went too far with Batgirl because if any of the suits shouldn't have had that feature, it was hers. That being said, they got a great actress playing Batgirl. Arnold nailed Mr. Freeze, I feel like. Uma Thurman's great as Poison Ivy. Chris O'Donnell did good as Robin, all things considered. More Nightwing in this, honestly. At least from a outfit design. George Clooney as Batman. He did the best he could for the wacky script he was given. And so I elevate it up higher than a lot of people would. Some people would probably have this as their absolute least favorite superhero movie of all time, and it's not that for me. It's the best of the worst for me. All of that being said, I'm going to have to put these back in their positions later, but I'm going to be doing one more video before I put these away. Yeah, just some of these are like, they had good ideas and just didn't do it all that well. And some of them were just like, why'd you do this at all? So, yeah, just, yeah. So, yeah. I'll be back after I upload this, or while this is uploading rather, with my top 25 movies of all time. And I actually haven't thought about what I would put in first, but it'll probably end up being pretty obvious. Just from how much I thoroughly enjoyed this movie from last year. Again, I'm only counting movies that I have. I'll have a couple other honorable mentions for titles that I do not have, but that I thoroughly enjoy. There'll actually be 3 such movies that fall into that honorable mention territory. I do have 2 of my honorable mentions right here with me, but I'll tack them on into the end of the next video after I announce what the best of the batch is. But all of these next 25 movies for my next video are going to be my picks for the greatest of all time superhero movies. And there are a few instances where I kind of cheat a little because there are some collections that I count as a single entity, like the Dark Knight trilogy, for example. I count it as a trilogy in and of itself, not individually by title. Same with the Superman Christopher Reeve continuity. I rank it as a complete franchise and not individual entries. But you'll see what I mean when we get there. So that is it for this video here. I'll catch you guys in the next one and in just a few minutes. And you may disagree with some of my picks, and that's fine. Let me know in the comment section of this video if you feel like I missed some of the worst superhero movies that I have, because you guys know my collection at this point. So if you feel like there's superhero movies that I should have put in my bottom 25 that I didn't, let me know, because I can make another video in the same vein where it's like, here are 25 more of the worst superhero movies in my collection of all time thing. Again, I didn't include The Incredibles or Incredibles 2, although those would fall in the best category. So those are a couple honorable mentions that I do have, but I don't think I have the cases for both. I just have the case for the second one. So I would have to bring up the discs, which is fine, but yeah. Anyway, I'll be back with the companion video to this, and I'm actually going to group them together in a playlist. I think create a new playlist. I'll call it my 25 best / 25 worst playlist. But yeah, I'll be back with that momentarily.